Okay, in this video we're going to cover the walkthrough for the 7.4 worksheet. Very first question is asking us to write the vector in AI plus BJ form given the initial and terminating points. So remember, when you go to your formula sheet, you actually have the formulas right here. It will say that P and Q are the initial. Remember, the P starts with the dot, and Q is the arrow, which is the terminating point. So just use this equation, okay? X2, which is here, is 2, minus X1, which is 1. Y2, negative 3, minus Y1, which is negative 5. So 2 minus 1 is just 1. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2. Then when I change it from this form to this form, all I'm doing is removing these and adding the I and the J. So 1I plus 2J. Okay. Number 2. Number 2 is, now it's telling us to use vector S, initial and terminating point, and write it in component form. The only difference between these two is this is using the I and the J, and this is not. This is our component form. This is the form of AI plus BJ. All right, so we're going to use the same formula. X2, which is 2, minus X1, which is 1. Y2, which is negative 3, minus negative 5, just like that. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Negative 3 plus 5 is positive 2. Okay, exact same form. Number 3, now we're looking for the magnitude. The magnitude is also here. This is our A and this is our B. It's basically Pythagorean's identity. So we're going to use this one for the first term and this is for the second term. Okay, so our 2 is going to be our first term. The negative 4 will be our second term. This is A and this is B. So now we're going to just apply it into the formula. So the square root of 2 squared, which is 4, plus negative 4 squared, which is 16, which is the square root of 20. Now remember how to simplify this. If I have a square root of 20, I can say that that is 4 times 5, and I can take them individually. So the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 5 is going to stay like this. Number 4 says, given S and given T, find negative 8S and S plus T. So first thing I'm going to do is put the negative 8 times S. Now I'm going to go ahead and multiply these two numbers together. Negative 8 times 2, negative 16. Negative 8 times negative 1, that's going to be a positive 8, and that's your solution. When we're adding them, we're just going to add them straight. And all I'm doing is adding my X with the X and the Y with the Y. So 2 minus 7 is negative 5, and negative 1 plus 0 is still negative 1, and that will be my solution. Number 5, we're given A and B, and we're asked to find this, negative 4A plus 3B. First thing I'm going to do is take A and multiply it by negative 4. So negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 5 is a positive 20. Then I'm going to go ahead and do 3 times B. So 3 times negative 4, that's negative 12. And then 3 times 0 is still 0. Now I can add these two together. I'm doing this X plus this X. So negative 4 plus negative 12 is negative 16. And then 20 plus 0 is still going to be 20. And that will be our final answer. Number 6, all you're going to be doing is multiplying the scalar in graphic form. So what you're going to be doing here, and it's a little bit harder to do it on paper, it's easier when you do it in a graph. You're going to take that vector and you're going to stretch it in the same direction until you get 1.6. Number 7 is going to be the geometric approach. Again, it's easier to do when you're on the computer. You're going to construct these two vectors. So you're going to take your vector S and you're going to shrink it by 0.9. And you're going to take your T and you're going to shrink it to 0.7. Then you're going to go ahead and line it up. So you have your S first, and then from the initiating point for your T, and go out 0.7. Then remember to add them, you're going from the initial of S to the final of T. And finally, we're going to be doing subtraction. Again, it's easier to do it on the computer. Here you're going to take vector A, and you're going to leave it exactly the same. You're going to move it to point P, indicated on the computer. And then you're going to have negative 2b. You're going to take b, go in the opposite direction, and multiply it by 2. So you're going to make it twice as long. Okay? Put that new vector at the arrow of A. Here it's going to be the same thing as adding, because I have the negative in this direction here. All right? Okay. Let me know if you have any questions.